We're back in St. Louis for the 2018 SEC Championship. I'm Bart Connor along with Kathy Johnson-Clark. And Kathy, you just made a good point. We're getting ready for the fourth and final rotation, but the lead has changed every single rotation. Alabama after one, then it was Florida, and now LSU has a lead of 75 thousandths of a point. They'll be on the floor in this fourth and final rotation.
I can't remember in SEC championships or any competition really that we've seen that lead shuffle every rotation.
LSU on the floor, Florida on the vault, Alabama on the bars, Kentucky on the beam.
Now Florida has caused some troubles for some of the other teams, so LSU has to really dial in these landings on floor exercise. Alabama can capitalize over on the uneven bars, and Amelia Hunley for Florida on vault starts them off with a perfectly stuck Yurchenko full. That's exactly what they need. In your lower right, that's Ashlyn Kirby, the sophomore from Claremont, North Carolina for LSU. And a stuck landing for Alabama. Ari Guerra, boy, she has had an outstanding meet for the Crimson Tide today. In the background on the beam, you see Katie Stewart from Kentucky. This competition is certainly teaching us that it is not over until it's over, and how important it is to stay in the moment, the event you're on. Strong start for LSU.
You know, Kathy, going back years, of course, it was Alabama and Georgia trading off on many of the SEC titles. It's so interesting to see 8 quality teams in the SEC. There's so much more parity. That's why we're seeing the competitions that we're seeing.
Absolutely. Session 1 this afternoon was outstanding, and same thing here in this competition.
Rachel
seeing a lot of pressure mistakes, however. Rachel Gowie is in for Megan Skaggs. This is a last-minute replacement on vault. She does a Yurchenko fall. Wow, what a clutch performance. She had not planned to do vault.
So a Skaggs fall on floor exercise. Amelia Huntley before her had a 9-9. So Gowie does a nice job as we go back to bars for Alabama. Winter Childers coming up after Ari Guerra's 9.825.
Setting up for her dismount, half in, double back out. Kind of an unusual little twist on the dismount.
The junior from League City, Texas does a nice job in the leadoff spot. They lost a couple of critical routines from last year. And yet, Alabama reloading as Dana Duckworth proud of her team's effort to this point. I think we're seeing Alabama at its best tonight that we've seen them the entire season. Christina Desiderio now for LSU on floor. She's coming after Ashlyn Kirby, notched to 9.85.
We're seeing the floor lineup from LSU that they've planned all season long. This would be their dream lineup. Opened with a double layout.
And
we're going to see more difficulty in these floor routines as well. Good point.
Interesting to note that this was the event where they had much change from last year. Remember Ashley Natt, Sydney Ewing, and, of course, McKenna Kelly, the daughter of Mary Lou Retton, out with an Achilles injury. So a lot of changes in this lineup, and yet they're still superb on floor.
There's her combination pass, front through to a double tuck. LSU is always known for their high-energy routines on floor exercise.
And all year long, I've been impressed with their level of fitness. They do not run out of gas at the end of their floor routines, and that's just their training.
And when you have that kind of fitness and that kind of training, the consistency comes because they can do the numbers in the gym, in practice. They always have an intra-squad the day before competition, so they earn their spots in the lineup. They're just very meet ready. Pike double back for the dismount. Good difficulty. Opening with that double layout and a double pike at the end. That's the level of difficulty that can score big.
Alicia Boren on vault for Florida, set to go. They have a 9.9 from Hundley and 2 9.85s from Gowie and Foberg.
And this is a 1.5 twist, and it's a big one. huge vault in the air. She took that step on the landing. They will have to deduct there.
And just a moment ago for Alabama on bars, Shea Mahoney mounted. Winter Childers before her a 9.85 and Ari Guerra a 9.825.
Alabama has been having a very solid meet.
Oh my goodness.
Missed
Oh!
the release transition from low to high. Just underdid it a little bit. Could not get her grips. Oh, this is called a Shaposhnikova from a toe on, and just really didn't have enough height on the transition, the release up to the high bar, and couldn't get her grips on. Now that's a 0.5 of a point deduction in gymnastics for the fall. She'll resume the routine from there because you have to get all the elements in, and a competition this close, every 10th is going to matter. Even if this is the low score they want to drop.
Alabama trailing LSU coming into this rotation by 75 thousandths of a point. That's not what they wanted right there. Just a moment ago, Rachel Slocum on vault for Florida, coming after Boren's 9.8.
Always an exciting vault. Traditional entry, handspring front, pike half.
Wow.
Big vault. Look at the distance from the table, and that's a 10-0 start value vault as well.
Lexi Priestman now for LSU on floor, coming after Christina Desiderio had a career-high 9.875.
Full twisting double back again. That's one of those E passes, more difficulty.
I noted earlier that the junior from Cincinnati has had so many surgeries on her knee and leg, and yet she has such a high quality level of performance in her gymnastics. She contributes a lot to LSU.
And that was a nice middle pass. High back 1.5 twist into a front layout. Really high on both elements.
When you think of LSU, of course, last year they had Ashley Nat, Sydney Ewing, Shea Zamardi, and McKenna Kelly even on this event. And so we weren't really sure what LSU was going to have this year, but their depth has been really impressive.
Finishes the routine with a pike double back. Great difficulty from start to finish. Solid performance.
So our leaders doing a nice job, hoping to hold on to the lead in the fourth and final rotation. LSU, can they go back-to-back with SEC titles?
Alex McMurtry doing her double twist. This is a fantastic piece of gymnastics. Very difficult. High as can be.
Wow.
And a great landing. I don't even think she could move him to turn and salute
It looked like
she got stuck.
She got stuck.
She stuck, and then she got stuck.
She's
Did
like,
not want to. Oh, that ankle almost rolled out a little bit. Whew.
After that fall on floor, what a comeback for McMurtry. A 9.975 for Florida there on vault. Moments ago, Lexi Graber for Alabama on the bars. Coming after Shea Mahoney, only a 9.2 after that fall that we saw.
A great addition to this Alabama team. She is good on every event.
He's the freshman from Cape Coral, Florida.
Nice handstand. That final position sets up the dismount here. Half in, half out. A little bit leggy in that dismount. A little sloppy with the legs, but very nicely done on the routine.
And there will be two more performances for Alabama on the bars, and they have to have two big scores to have a chance at this championship. Of course, they're missing Mackenzie Brannon. You see her there. She had an Achilles tear, and she's typically superb on the bars, so having to adjust without her in the lineup. As we go back to floor for LSU, the score in for Priestman is a 9.875, and this is Kennedy Edney.
And it's a very entertaining routine. She has a lot of fun with this, and very big opening tumbling run, Arabian double front.
For the sports fans watching tonight who think, I know that name Edney. Yes, it's her father, Tyus Edney, the former star at UCLA in basketball.
1.5 to front layout. Good control on that landing.
LSU has a 9.85 and two 9.875s in this event.
Those elements, the judges really look for that picture in the air with a full split in those leaps. See if she can get this final controlled landing with the double tuck. Little bit off balance, little unsure. Nothing major, but a slight deduction.
And every landing is going to be critical. This one is close. 75 thousandths of a point separating LSU and Alabama coming into this final rotation. Kylie Dixon, moments ago for Alabama on the bars.
Oh, lost the leg bone just a little bit. She was really going after that handstand position hard. Might have been a tiny bit short there. Beautiful handstand on that final toe on handstand. Nice amplitude on her release move. A little struggle on that last cast. See if she can get the stick, because these are the obvious deductions. Little hop there, so there are little deductions in there. See what the judges do.
Freshman from Spanish Fort, Alabama, had a 9.75, and Kiana Winston will be their final performer for Alabama. You can see her 9.92 regional qualifying score. That's essentially your average.
This can be a beautiful routine. Watch this skill when she transfers down to low bar. High flying. Oh, no, Pat Salter. She was in a little too close. She's got to cover now. Ooh. She had to ad-lib that routine a little bit because she was just in too close on that transition down to low bar. She pulled it out, but not her usual. Nice job on getting the landing, though, not giving away that 10th of a point there.
So a missed opportunity for one of their superstars, Kiana Winston. And remember, Shea Mahoney had a 9.2 earlier. That's the score they're hoping to replace. Sarah Finnegan now for LSU on floor. The score for Kennedy Edney before Finnegan, a 9.85.
1.5 twist through to a 2.5 twist. Love this pass. A lot of difficulty in it. Not your usual big double backs, but technically just as difficult. This routine is one of the prettiest in the competition. She is such a beautiful dancer. And she has the difficulty. High.
Oh, beautiful.
Double back in tuck position.
She just floated out of the air on that.
Everything is so stretched and so full. I mean, this is the type of routine you could be sitting up in the top row in this arena and still appreciate this performance. You could see it. High double back. Kind of a large step into that lunge, but she covers it so beautifully, so elegantly. It will be a minor deduction. Love that routine. Just a really complete performance. Great dance, great execution of all her tumbling passes, excellent difficulty throughout the routine, and just the details were absolutely gorgeous.
LSU feeling like this one is theirs. We wait on the score for Sarah Finnegan. Finnegan needs a 9.45 to win it. That is in the books, folks. Consider that done. And they will have Maya Hambrick to ice the cake on this one. But LSU will repeat as SEC champions. Let's go down to Laura Rutledge.
Well, Bart, this is especially unique for Sarah Finnegan because she is a Missouri girl. She's actually born in Kansas City, spent a lot of time in St. Louis, had been in this arena before, but she said that being here in front of about 50 people that came to see her was going to mean so much to her, being able to perform for them. A lot of them that don't get to see her in person do her gymnastics. They're here, they're part of this huge LSU cheering section, and it's definitely a big moment for her to be able to do this here.
And what a thrill. Sarah Finnegan will clinch it for LSU. That's a 9.85. So regardless of what Maya Hambrick gets, LSU is going to repeat as SEC champions. Let's just enjoy Maya Hambrick, who will close it out for the LSU Tigers.
And Maya can close it out in style. Check this out, double layout. Perfectly straight. Oh no, stepped out of bounds. Out of bounds is a 1/10 of a point off. That's too bad because that's really the best double layout I think I've seen her do.
It was a little higher than she anticipated. Of course, they're competing on a podium here, which is a 3.5-foot riser, like a staging system, which makes everything just a little bit bouncier. This is how you see it at the World Championships and the Olympics.
Look at the height of that 2.5 twist to punch front.
It's interesting because we saw this level of performance and fitness from LSU in the first meet of the season, and you wonder, can they keep that standard throughout the season? But this team has done a remarkable job at performing with this level of polish and explosiveness all season long.
And consistency, meet after meet. Even when things don't go perfectly, they still go well enough to get the win.
So the senior from Temple, Georgia, will wrap it up for the LSU Tigers. #1 in the NCAA on floor. And although that wasn't her best effort, they didn't even need it tonight. We're talking about the finest of the finest in SEC gymnastics. And right now, LSU on top of the mountain. Florida has won 10 times the title. LSU, this will be their third. They won it in '81 and last year. Associate head coach Jay Clark and Dee Dee Bro. A few final notes for this team that was undeniable tonight, Kathy.
And we've talked about this before. The SEC Championships is so important to these teams. They fight hard for it.
And we noted earlier they won the regular season trophy based on their win-loss record. But this one probably means even more because on the floor, the best 4 teams in the conference going head-to-head at the same time. And LSU will repeat as SEC champions. The second straight team title and their third overall. Not to be denied tonight.
Very nice. They got their seniors in there to hold the trophy up. Last time they will be performing at the SEC Championship.
It'll be LSU, Alabama, Florida, and Kentucky. Arkansas, Georgia, Missouri, and Auburn. As Alabama's coach Dana Duckworth gives congratulations to Dee Dee Bro. When we come back to St. Louis, we will talk to the winners. Don't go away.